करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रम् नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम् मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते. So we are looking at the Vakya Tattvabodha kaha. So from now on we will start from Tattvabodha kaha. Tattvabodha kaha, what is this discrimination of the truth? Atma Satyam, the Guruji says, Atma Satyam tadanyat sarvam mithya iti. Atma is the truth, the self is the truth, I am the truth, everything other than that is mithya. So this is what we were looking at. We were dwelling on these ideas of Satya and Mithya. So hopefully the sunlight is not coming very much into your eyes. So, what did we look at last time? We looked at a lot of things last time. What do we think? This pot, is it true? Is it Satya, or is it existing or not existing? We think that this pot is existing. Why? Why do you think this pot is existing? Because
I can see it.
Because I can see it, I can feel it, I can experience it, I can smell it. So, what is our definition of what is real? Whatever I can perceive, whatever is tangible is real. What about dream? Is it tangible?
No, I don't know.
So we think that dream is not real, right? At least, what do we think? Is the dream real or not?
No.
When you wake up from the dream does not remain. So you conclude that dream is not real. So nobody has to convince you that no, the dream that you thought was real is actually not real. Nobody has to convince you. You know, because when you wake up from the dream, then the dream is no longer there, and so you realize that although during the dream it appeared as if the dream was very much real, when you were seeing the dream in your dream, you felt everything was real, all those experiences were real. But as soon as you wake up, then you realize that it was nothing but just a projection. So, your conclusion that just because I perceive it has to be real, just because I experience something, it has to be real, just because something is useful, like this pot is useful to fill up water, because I can use this pot, therefore it is real. So all these conclusions are cannot be applied in dream state, because just because the pot that I saw in dream did not make it real, because as soon as I woke up I realized that yes, I saw a pot in my dream, but that was not a real pot. I was making use of that pot in my dream, but you know what, that pot was not real. And that pot was also very much tangible when in my dream, and still when I woke up, it lost its tangibility, like it was no longer there. So just because something is useful uh, does not mean it is real. Just because something is tangible, available through our sense organs to perceive, to smell, etc., does not make it real. Just because something is useful does not make it real. That we can conclude based on our dream experience. Um, Everybody agrees?
Yep.
Okay. So, so just as in dream, so also in our waking state now. In dream, we don't have any, we do not argue about those things. When I'm stating this example that I saw this pot in my dream and that was not tangible, etc., you do not argue. Like that was tangible in my dream, but as soon as I woke up, I realized that, even though I thought that it was tangible, actually it was not real. Meaning what? That it is not available right now as it was available in the dream state. It is not available to me in the same manner during waking. And if something is there in one moment and not there in another moment, would you call it real? Would you call it Satya? What is Satya? If I speak something now, or yesterday if I spoke something, and today if I speak something contrary to that, would that be real? Would that be Satya?
No.
No. So also, if something was there yesterday and today it is either not there or not there in the same manner in which it manifested before me yesterday, would you call that the real nature of that thing? No.
Mm-hmm. No.
So, by real, what do we mean? That it should exhibit the same nature as it is showing. It should not keep on changing. That is what we mean by real. So, what is the definition of Satya? When we speak of Satya, then we should understand by real, we mean that it stays true to its nature, it does not change its nature. That is what we mean. So, does this pot remain true to its nature?
Mm.
What if it breaks? What if I drop it?
Um,
Will it remain as a pot?
no.
No. It will break into pieces and shards and powder. But what will not change? Something will not change. So there is something in this pot which changes, and then there is something in this pot which does not change. So there are two elements in anything that I am able to perceive, that I am able to experience. There are two things, one that is changing and another which is changeless. So that which is changeless is what we want to call as Satya, and that which is changing is what we will call as Mithya. It is there to experience, but really its existence is not on its own. It is a dependent existence. So this pot is what? A dependent existence. This pot is dependent on what? Clay. So this pot is dependent on clay for its existence. So are clay and pot two different entities?
Mm. No. No. But yes, I don't know.
Yeah. So we have always grown up to think that clay is clay and pot is pot. Like you can fill up water in pot but not in clay. But what is the reality? The reality is what I call a pot is what? This pot is nothing but clay
Made up
in
of clays.
particular form.
Yeah.
Right? Clay in this particular form. Uh, Now, the clay can also, but is clay always only in the form of pot?
No.
Oh,
There can also be a plate made up of clay
yeah.
or a glass.
Yeah.
So, the pot has one particular form, but the clay can be molded in many different forms. So, this clay that can be molded into many different forms is what? That is what we call karanam,
Good
cause.
karam.
And this pot is one effect of this karanam. One particular effect of this clay is this pot. And second effect or second modification of the clay is what? A plate, a clay plate. Third modification may be a what? Clay glass. Or you go on and on and on. So, Karanam is one, Karya are many. So, there can be many modifications of one Karanam. So, what is true in the pot, clay pot, and clay glass, and clay plate? What is one thing that is common? Let us put it that way. What is
Clay.
one thing that is common? Clay. Now, in all, I don't know why I'm rushing today. I don't know. Bhagwan is making me do this. In all these things, clay plate and clay pot and clay pot. If I take away clay, what will remain? What will remain if I take away the clay?
Nothing.
Will
Mm.
anything remain? Nothing will remain.
Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So, effects are many. The pot and plate and pan or whatever, effects are many. There are many different objects, but karanam is one, cause is one, and if that cause is taken away, then do the effects remain? No, effects do not remain apart from its cause. Which cause? Material cause. What is the material cause? Clay. In this case, in the case of the effects made of clay, clay is the material cause which pervades all of these. What does pervades means? Uh, that pot is here, clay is here, clay is here, clay is here, clay is here. Is there any point where clay is not there?
No.
No.
Same thing. If I had a pan, then clay would be at the tip, at the tip, at the rim, at the center, at the bottom, at the top. Is there any point where clay is not there? No. So same thing. You just make your mind see how the material cause is in and through each of these effects. So it is pervading the effects, meaning that this pot and this pan and all the effects made of clay are not apart from clay. So the material cause is pervading all its effects, right? But if this pot and the plate and the glass are broken, is clay broken?
No.
No.
So clay still remains. Even though the effects are broken, or even when the effects gets destroyed, so you think, still clay is not destroyed, right?
Oh,
Is clay
no. Yeah.
destroyed?
No, no.
Yeah, clay is not destroyed. So does anything happen to clay then?
Hmm.
when
No.
when was this pot ever there, or it came into existence in time, and then it will get destroyed, at a certain time,
Yep.
right? So it came into existence at a certain time. So what was there before its existence? Before the potter made this pot, what was it before it was there?
Clay.
It was clay. Good. What will happen when the pot breaks?
Clay will remain.
Mm-hmm.
Clay will
Yeah.
remain? Okay.
Yeah.
When the pot is there now, what is there?
Clay is there.
Clay is there. I say the pot is there, but what is there actually? Clay is there, right?
Yeah.
Because there is no substance called pot. Is there a substance called pot? Is there an object called pot?
No.
What is
So
there is
it's
only clay.
yeah.
There is no
No,
object called pot. But in
no.
our mind, yeah,
If the clay is put into in a shape, then it is called a pot.
huh.
Pot.
So what is pot?
Pot is
Clay
a
in a
name
Pot
of.
is
particular shape.
basically clay only. Yeah, yeah.
What did you say?
So the pot is the name of one of the forms of clay, right?
Clay,
Good,
right?
very good.
Yeah.
Pot is the name of a form of this particular form of clay.
Hmm.
So what is pot? It is the name and form. Uh, uh,
Of
this
clay.
the clay of a particular the name and form particular name and form of a clay is called pot.
Hmm.
So what is substance of a pot? Clay.
Clay.
But
Clay.
substance meaning what is the content of the pot? Clay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, and what is the substance of the plate? Clay plate?
Again,
Clay.
clay.
Clay. So we see effects are many, but the substance is one.
Hmm.
So one truth is one, and effects is what? Changing.
Oh
It does
yeah.
not remain. This form does not remain. Even this so-called name and form, it does not. As soon as I drop it and it breaks and it turns into pieces, can I call it pot anymore?
Mm-hmm. No.
No.
So the form is the form real then?
No, it's not permanent, right? It's
It
temporary.
is not permanent. Real meaning is it going to be there forever? No.
No.
It is temporary. But what does not change? What is real? Clay. So the
Hmm.
clay is the unchanging
True.
aspect in this pot, whereas the spot is the changing aspect. I can use it. I can make use of it. But that does not mean just because I can use it does not mean it is real. So this is a very important concept in our Vedanta Shastra. So what is pot actually then? It is just a name and form. Uh, it's just a name and form. If you take away the clay out of it, nothing remains. So the pot does not have existence of its own. It's just a name and form. Uh, I take away the clay. I give you the name and form. What will remain? Will you get anything?
Mhm.
Hmm.
No.
You know. But still, what do we give importance
Then
to? Do we give importance to clay or do we give importance to name and form?
Yeah, we give more importance to the forms, I guess, right?
To names and forms. To us, if this was a golden pot, let us say, then we may argue for I want I don't have the other pot with me, but if I had a simple pot with me, then I would argue that I don't want that pot, I want this beautiful pot, etc. We fight for it. But what is the material in both the pots? a plain pot and this decorated pot, the material is one and the same, clay or gold, and still, what do I fight for? Name and form. Uh, if there are golden ornaments and one is more beautiful or more delicate and other is just a plain chain, then I may want a delicate chain. Why? The content of both the chain is gold. Even the weight may be the same, and still I want a delicate looking necklace for me. Why? Because I am falling for what? Name and form. So what is our life so far? We are our life is about, so far it has been about giving more importance to name and form, and all the fight that we see in our life or in the world around is about what? Is about name and form. So Vedanta wants to teach us that what are you fighting about? Name and form. You are fighting for what? Pot. If I take away the clay, what is this pot? Nothing. So what are you fighting about? Nothing. So you are
Yeah.
overseeing the clay, you are overseeing the oneness which prevails in all the effects, and we are all fighting about something or the other, some name and form. We may be fighting for different reason. We may be fighting meaning we may be upset about things. We may be frustrated about things in life. And what are all the upset and sadness and frustrations and fight? Uh, what are those all dwelling upon? They're all centered upon some name and form, which is what? Changing. Which is what? Changing meaning which is not real. So, for something which is not real, we all are fighting in life, and so Vedanta wants to teach us, hey, buddy, you wake up and focus your attention on that which is pervading this name and form, that on account of which you are able to use this name and form, that on account of which you are able to touch this name and form, that on account of which, what else? You're able to experience this name and form. So you shift that attention, and all these likes and dislikes and fights and frustrations and sadness will vanish. That it doesn't have place, because uh, Vedanta wants to show that one cause alone pervades all the effect, just as one clay pervades all the clay pots, and all the clay pans, and all the different, not only everything which is in the form of this pot, but even something of a shape of pan and glass. So one clay, just as one clay pervades the different names and forms, different shapes and different names, so also Vedanta wants to tell that there is something called one material cause that pervades all the different things, whether a bed sheet, whether a window, whether a curtain, whether a living thing, whether a non-living thing. That is what Vedanta wants to drive to. But and how will it show that that one cause, which is the cause of even the cause, that alone is Satyam. Everything else is Mithya. Everything that I can perceive, that I can experience, that I can use is what? Mithya. Mithya meaning what? Mithya doesn't mean it is not there. It is very much there. It is available for my experience, but it is changing. It is a dependent reality. It does not exist on its own. Its existence is imparted on account of something else. And that which imparts existence to whatever things we experience, is its truth. And where is that truth? That truth is not out there. That truth is Ishvara. That Ishvara, who is the truth, is not out there. That Ishvara, the truth of all the things, is here. I am that truth. Which I? Not I as this body, mind, sense complex. I, the truth, which pervades and because of which even this body, mind, sense complex is experienced, that I is the truth behind everything that I experience in life, that I am able to make use of in life, that I am able to perceive and feels like tangible, right? So I am that truth because of which all these things I am able to experience. So, what is pot? Pot is just a name and form. Pot is just a concept in my mind. What is there is nothing but clay. But just so that I can do the vyavahar, just so that I can, our vyavahar, our interactions can be meaningful, we use a name to a particular form. So, with every name, a particular form is there in our mind, and every form there is a particular name. Name and form always goes together, right? So, when I say pot, even without showing, you already know the shape of the pot. Uh, the pot is there. Now I am saying plate. So plate, I just said plate. I'm not holding a plate, but still, the shape of the plate comes into in your mind. So just how I'm saying plate and the form, you cognized that form came visually in your mind. Then what? Mm, glass, a clay glass. So notice how with every name, the form is at the same time appearing in your mind. So name and form always goes together. And what are names and forms? Are they real on their own? They are just concepts. They are just concept which is projected upon uh, a material cause, which is its real substance, which is its real content. What about clay? Is that the ultimate cause? Even clay is not the ultimate cause. What is clay made of? Earth. So, uh, if the earth degrades, then will the clay remain?
No.
The clay will not remain. So, with relation to pot, clay is the material cause.
Mm.
But with relation to clay now, what is the material cause? Earth is the material cause, and clay is its effect. What about earth? Is earth the final product? Or earth or the mud is also made up of molecules and atoms? So then molecules is the material cause and earth is the effect. What about molecules? Is it its final stage? Molecules is also made of atoms. So in that way, you keep on dissecting, you keep on dissecting, you keep on dissecting, and you find that each effect is so far also a cause of something and effect to something else. And so it keeps on, it keeps on shifting to another cause, another cause, another cause. But if this is so, then it has to end somewhere. This process, it has to end somewhere. Otherwise, there would be an infinite regression. What does infinite regression mean? That it would just go on and on. There would be a cause to something else, cause to something else, cause to something else. And if it does not end somewhere, uh, then it is a defect. In logical terms, it is a defect. Why it is a defect? Uh, it should end somewhere, meaning what? It should end in a cause which is just a cause and not an effect. Right? Uh, if it is not so, then what would happen? Then again, it would continue to be, it has another cause, another cause, another cause, another cause, another cause, another cause, another cause. But where did it come from? That answer you will not get. And if this defect is there, then this particular pot which you are noticing, that cannot be. For in order for this particular effect to be in front of me, for me to be able to experience this pot, for me to be able to experience this effect, it has to end up in a cause which is just a cause and not an effect. Uh, and which is just a cause for which there is no cause, a causeless cause. So, who is the first father? So, Sajani ji may have heard this, Puja Swamiji talking about this, that uh, who is my father's father? If we go on to the sequence, so okay, my great grandfather was so and so, my great 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 grandfather was so and so, so and so, so and so, and then somewhere it has to end. And where does it have to end? It has to end into a father who did not have a father, so who was just a father and not a son. So somewhere it has to end. So the origin, the cause, we always accept as there is something called original cause, which is not made up of anything. It is just there. It does not have another reason, another cause for its existence. Meaning it is self-existing. This pot is not self-existing. This pot is existence because of clay. The clay is not self-existing. The clay is existing because of earth. Earth is not existing, self-existing. The earth is existing because of molecules, and so on. But then there is something which is self-existing, which does not depend on something else for its existence. This is what we call, it is just a cause and not an effect. And otherwise, this infinite regression will happen. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is the fundamental of Satya and Mithya. And in life, uh, we will, yes, we will study this text, etc. But time and again, we have to apply these principles that when a situation comes in our life, we remind ourselves to focus on the Satya aspect, the unchanging aspect, and not dwell into the Mithya aspect. We make our mind see that all the problems in life are stemming from focusing ourselves on names and forms, and so I have to deliberately shift my attention from name and forms to that on account of which that name and form is. And I have to make myself see that anything I appreciate in life, uh, you know, what is it? Is it the final truth or is it just the name and form? If it is name and form, then what does it mean in terms of Satya and Mithya? Is it Satya, Satya meaning real, or is it Mithya, Mithya meaning unreal, meaning changing? Uh, so I educate my mind. I question with my mind. I do not agree to all the thought patterns of my mind, and I always check. I make sure that my pattern of thinking is based on the truth of life. So, what is Vedanta about? Aligning our thinking pattern to the realities of life, aligning our thinking pattern to this fundamental discrimination of what is real and what is unreal, and recognizing that what I call pot is nothing but a concept in my mind. Anything, any object is, if I analyze it further, then it turns out to be nothing but a concept. So, like last time, I wanted to get a flower, but again, I have not got. But I will dwell with this. So, I have two leaves in my hand. This is also a leaf. This is also a leaf. So, leaf, if this is also a leaf, this is also a leaf, then can you please define me what is a leaf? Is leaf a particular form? If leaf was a particular form, then how come this form is also called a leaf and this form is also called a leaf? So if I examine things a little bit more deliberately or a little bit more um, analytically, then I find that there is nothing in this world can be defined,
Yeah.
uh, right? Because I
Mm.
mean, I can bring 10 different forms of leaves. All of them will be a leaf. A bougainville flower. You can
Mm.
imagine now a bougainville flower. Is it actually a flower or is it a leaf of the flower?
Oh, it's a leaf.
It's a leaf of that flower. What is the flower of the bougainville? Just the tiny middle part which is of white color. That alone is flower. And the pink and white thing
Mm.
that you think that is the petals of the flower, that is actually what? It is not even the petal of the flower. It is the leaf. It is called a bract in botanical term. But regardless, it is actually a leaf. So what is a leaf? Can you define me? What is a leaf? Is there a definition of a leaf? That which produces chlorophyll? Does all the leaves produce chlorophyll? Do we have leaves that do not produce chlorophyll and that survives without chlorophyll? What is the
Right.
definition of leaf? So if you penetrate further, you find that most of the definitions are just a concept in our mind. It is just short of one more question, and I can't define of what exactly it is. What I called a leaf is nothing but a name leaf and a form leaf. And even in that form, even this is a form. And this also I call leaf. This also I call leaf. So both this concept called leaf is what? Is it reliable?
hmm It's a man-made concept that has been given to that, right?
It is a man-made concept that we gave it for our transaction, for vyavahara, for
hmm
interaction. We needed some name and that was given. Okay. this particular part of the plant will be called a leaf. And so we started operating on that basis, and we made we started operating on that basis, and we took it so real that so far we have never questioned back on everything that we have been taking things as, that real. That yes, this is a leaf. We never questioned what is a leaf. This is a flower. We never questioned what is a flower.
Mm.
This is a root. We never questioned. But now, with this background, if we see any object, you take a plastic bag. Is it real? What is plastic bag? If you take away the plastic, will that bag remain? So you just take anything in life. What is this bed sheet? You take away the cotton from it. Will this bed sheet remain? So is it real? Is it not mithya? Is it not
Mithya.
changing? What is this
Mithya.
dupatta? This is a dupatta. We all make use, it's just because it is mithya, it is not going to mean that I'm not going to use it. I am still going to make use of it, but what is Satya and Mithya? It is the attitude about a particular object. Satya and Mithya are not a particular object. Satya and Mithya are the correct recognition of the attitude I have regarding that particular thing. So, in this, is this spot Satya or is this spot Mithya?
Mithya.
Then is spot an entity which is called Mithya? Is
Yeah.
Mithya an entity?
So
Yeah.
anything which is made up of things, it's dependent, changeable. That is Mithya.
Is Mithya an entity? Is Satya
No.
an entity? So, Satya and Mithya, I will not call it as an entity, but Satya and Mithya would be the correct understanding of the thing as is. So, in this particular thing called pot, the two aspects that what I am experiencing in this pot is clay. That clay is the unchanging aspect of this pot. That is Satya. That Satya is the understanding, that is the cognition. So that this understanding of Satya and Mithya is a particular cognition in our mind. That is what I am trying to make you guys understand, that Satya and Mithya are a particular cognition, particular understanding about the thing. Satya and Mithya itself is not a thing, but Satya and Mithya is the understanding, proper understanding of whatever thing you may be experiencing. Uh, so, is this pot real? The pot is there in front of me. The clay is there. So, clay is Satya. This changing aspect, pot, the name and form is Mithya. So, this is an understanding. This leaf is Satya or Mithya? This leaf is Mithya. Leaf is Mithya, meaning the entity called leaf is Mithya, is my understanding about this entity. Right?
Yes.
Am I clear, or it is little bit confusing?
It is made up of what? How to define that? It is made up of what? Like,
What is it made up of?
Leaf.
Arthur,
Earth.
what is the leaf made of? What is the leaf made of?
That's what I was thinking.
So you think that you can define. What can you define?
That's a leaf.
Can you define? And please define. You cannot define.
Hmm.
You think that you can define. Your mind wants to define, but when you try to define, you struggle for it and you won't be able to define because you will try to define the leaf based on this form, and then you know that as soon as you will try to define, I will bring this leaf, then your definition will not hold true, or I
Hmm.
may bring third leaf. So your mind wants to define a thing, it wants to conceptualize the thing, and I am saying that whatever you are trying to conceptualize is a particular name and form, and it is not going to hold true to its nature. It is just one question away before that concept can be broken. So, if the concept is broken, then is it true? Is it Satyam or Mithya?
Mithya.
If the concept can be broken, if it does not hold true to whatever you defined or assumed, then that is not Satya anymore. Then that becomes Mithya. So this is the issue. So is it an issue? No, it is not an issue. The Vedantin, as the text will proceed, it will say that what is Mithya? Can Mithya be definable? Is it definable? No, it is not something that can be just described that this is so and so. Anything and everything I experience is a name and form, and therefore it is changing, therefore it is Mithya. But in all those changing things, there is something that is unchanging that still remains. Even though this is Mithya, there is something unchanging on account of which this Mithya, this changing thing appears before me. That cannot be negated. Okay?
Hmm.
But what is this leaf? If you try to describe that, you will
You will not be
not
able.
you will not get an answer. So, in what has been our life has been trying to define things. I try to define myself, I try to define the world, I try to define situation, I try to define objects. This has been my life. But when I examine and scrutinize it further, I find nothing in this world can be defined. Nothing. It is just one question away, and the concept is, shattered. I can't hold my definition true. And so, as the text itself will describe, Mithya is something which cannot be said as so and so. Can you say this leaf exists?
Yeah.
Yeah. It.
Let me take a simpler example. With leaf, we will have to do a lot of chemistry and biology. Does this pot exist?
Yeah.
Not permanently, but yes, we can utilize it, right?
We can see it, we can feel it.
What is existence? Or okay, let me change. Is this uh, is this pot true?
No, no, no. I
Not
see
at
what you
all.
mean. Does it exist
Does
even
it
after the life?
forever?
No,
Yeah.
no,
So does it exist forever?
no.
No.
So when I say existence, then I mean that it should exist, it should not keep on changing. So sat or existence, when Okay, let me just use common, simpler words. Does this pot exist? No. But does this pot not is it a non-existent spot? Is it a non-existent pot that I'm holding? No. I'm holding an existent pot, and yet it is not existent forever.
It will not
So
remain forever. Yeah.
this pot, you can neither say it is sat. Sat means existence. Neither can you say it is asat, meaning it is not there, because it is there, you can see it. So sat in Sanskrit means existence, and asat means non-existence. So this pot is neither sat nor asat, not a combination of sat and asat, because sat and asat cannot combine. So can you define this pot? No, it is not available for definition. Anirvachya, it is indescribable, it cannot be, it is not available for description. Yes, you experience it in the middle, but actually what you are experiencing, or on account of which your experiences, that is clay alone. So karya, anything which is a modification, anything that is effect, is not available for definition. Is this clear or somewhat?
Yeah, I think so.
So
नहीं
we
मुझे नहीं-
struggle to define. Yes, Shivani ji.
I'm little confused. It's okay, I'll understand.
Uh, we will dwell on it as the text goes by,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
all I will say is, you will have one whole week. You try to define anything. This will be your homework. You try to define things on your own. Anything that you experience, and see, are you able to hold on to the definition, or are you able to bring some object similar to it, and you see that your definition is not holding true to what you came up with. So you can do that, uh, and then yes, and then make yourself see, convince your mind, and
Okay,
see how there is nothing in this world which can actually be defined. Uh, so, uh, we are dwelling in the world of concepts. The name and forms which we have, the entities and objects which we have, are nothing but concepts. We think that this pot is tangible, we think that this leaf is tangible, but what we think is tangible is also a concept in our mind, because soon as I begin scrutinizing the content of the leaf, I find, what is this leaf? What is this leaf made of? And I find suddenly myself into seeing the fact that what I'm seeing is actually nothing but the molecules in a certain configuration. What are molecules is nothing but atoms in a certain configuration. And suddenly a point comes where you cannot even divide things at a microscopic level, meaning it is not even available for your sense organs to perceive or conceptualize. It ends up into something which is not available for conceptualizing. This gross thing that I hold in my hand, this gross thing, this gross object, this gross pot, this gross bed sheet, anything, this gross dupatta, anything, it ends up into something which is subtle, which is something which is not available for conceptualizing. And this is what Vedanta says, that you have taken things for granted, that gross things are gross, the object is what it appears to be, but Vedanta shakes you that no, the content of that particular object is what illumines that particular object, and the ultimate content. Okay, I'm talking about the ultimate content, the causeless cause. That ultimate content is what? That ultimate content is Atma. That ultimate content is I. That ultimate content is Brahman, is Ishvara, that is I. The real I, not the I which I think is limited to this body mind sense complex. That is the real I, the consciousness on account of which everything is there. So I think that this part is real. This part is Vedanta wants to say. This part is Mithya. What is the truth of this pot? The seer of the pot is the truth of this pot, not even the clay, because it has to end where? The causeless cause. The seer of the pot is the ultimate cause of this particular effect. Any experience, and don't worry, I don't expect you to understand this. So the whole text is going to unfold, is an unfoldment of this truth, that anything I experience, who is the truth of that particular thing? I am I, the seer, on account of which this thing is illumined, is the truth behind this object, is the truth of that object, is the actual truth. So this is what Vedanta wants to say. I am holding a leaf, I am experiencing a leaf. What is the truth of this, experienced leaf? I, the seer, is the truth of this experienced leaf. So this much of dwelling on Satya and Mithya, I think for all of you, Tula and Sajani ji, time has come, right? 5:38. So, so we can end here, and then from next time we can proceed a little further on the text.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw one question before I go. What are you seeing?
Now,
What are you seeing? What is there in my hand?
Mithya.
This Mithya, you are seeing a pot. That pot may be Mithya, you can say. You are seeing a pot, okay? Keeping all our discussion aside for now. You are seeing a pot. Are you seeing a pot actually? What are you seeing? What is there in my hand? Is there a pot? When your eyes see this pot, what exactly is it seeing?
The shape, the red color, white design.
Okay, good. Let us say if the lights were off in this room, then even if I was holding this pot, would you be able to see the pot?
With,
nope.
with the shape, I could sense it. Imagine that's a
The
pot.
lights were off, and I would not say what am I holding in my hand. That's all I would say. Then would you know what I am holding in my hand?
No.
No,
So when the lights are on, what are you seeing?
a pot.
Are you seeing a pot though? Or are you seeing light?
I'm seeing Pushti ji holding a pot.
Are are you seeing a pot or are you seeing a light? Do you know when a vision happens?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
when
goes and it comes back.
So, what are we seeing? Are we seeing objects?
Mm.
Hmm? Or are we seeing light?
mm,
It's a good
There is
question.
no.
I'm saying light. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Carry on.
So, aren't we seeing light?
We are seeing object in a light.
We are seeing light in a particular configuration, and we say this is a pot. Is it not so? So, what happens is the sun rays or the light touches this object and it gets reflected and it creates that rays
An image.
it creates an image in my eyes capture it, and then it gives its reflection, you know, and the mind identifies that yes, this particular image is called, it has a name called pot. So what am I seeing? Am I seeing pot or I am seeing light? What am I
So
saying?
confusing. First of, it's
Oh,
very confusing. It's a
it
light.
is not it is not confusing. You know what is happening? Our mind is not able to take it that, oh my god, what I have been calling so far a pot and I was struggling to call even this pot a mithya. Suddenly this Pushtiji is saying I'm not even seeing a pot, I'm just seeing a light, and
Light,
I'm telling
yeah.
that form of light, you know, pot, and I'm fighting about it. So what is the whole world doing? You
Yeah,
know,
right.
they are seeing, what are they experiencing? They are experiencing light, and they're fighting for
Mm.
what?
an
Light,
illusion.
So isn't it an illusion? We
yeah.
are seeing anything that we see. We cannot see anything but light, isn't it?
Mm.
I am not seeing anything but light. Think about it. Another homework. Two
Yeah,
homework, okay?
it's gonna
So
take some time to process, I guess.
yeah, so think about these two things and then we leave it at that. So now there is a different way of seeing, appreciating the world. For that, you have these two examples, not examples, the realities of the world. And so we will leave at that and we will start. So much was for Satya and Mithya. And now from next time, we will proceed in the text. Okay. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. So when you are saying
Very
you're
well.
patient, who are you seeing?
Hmm.
There are so many
So,
things now to understand.
okay, okay. I will leave all of you with the two questions.
Okay.
That homework.